partner. So I will do better next round. Anyway, let me begin by expressing my deepest gratitude, especially to Mr. Abdullah Muhammad, the president of MASI and Pro-Sec Gen of IFOPCA, and to MASI, of course, for hosting this event tonight here for myself and Mr. Chuan and the IFOPCA principal officers. As president of IFOPCA, I'm indeed honored and privileged to be given a platform to speak here today. MASI has been one of the greatest supporters for IFOPCA. In the recently concluded 43rd Convention in Seoul, this was last year, MASI sent a strong delegation of 7 out of 858 foreign participants. Well, you might say it might not look much, but based on population, actually MASI came in as second based on population per ratio at 18.62, only second behind Bhutan, which I think more than double the population. So a big round of applause to MASI, please. So in the upcoming November convention in Kuala Lumpur, I believe you can do better. Not number 2, but 1, at least population per ratio. For more than 50 years, IFOPCA has pursued the need for exchange of ideas, experiences, and construction technology amongst its members and affiliates in different climates and geographical settings. From our inception in Philippines, Manila, back in 1956, pioneered by only 8 founding members, IFOPCA today groups the fraternity of builders in 19 countries of ASEAN and its neighbors to the South Asian capitals of New Delhi and Colombo. MASI has been part of IFOPCA family for almost 11 years now, when it was first admitted in the 36th convention at Gold Coast, Australia, way back in November 2007. MASI's formal oath-taking happened thereafter at the midterm meeting in Thailand back in August 2008. Master Builders Association Malaysia joined 44 years earlier, in 1963, just for your information. I sincerely hope MASI will reach out through the IFOPCA platform to continue to promote MASI at a global level and helping your members to grow and prosper. As you all know, construction plays an important role in every economy. During the financial crisis back in 2008, the first sector that countries looked towards stimulating their economy was through the implementation of various construction projects, big or small. The United States of America did that, China did that, and the country that I come from, Malaysia, did the same with a stimulus package of USD 2 billion. It is a known fact that construction has a spillover effect to more than 140 subsectors, and no other industry has such outreach. Just to share with all of you here, Malaysia recently registered a GDP growth of 5.8%, of which construction generated 8.3%, the highest, with services coming in second at 6.3%. This is my first trip to Maldives, and everywhere I see, I think the president is doing something right. Everywhere I see construction activities all around. I see the Friendship Bridge the minute I arrive from the airport, so well done. In fact, just for your Honourable Minister's information, members from MBAM, Master Builders Malaysia, have done works in Maldives, and the companies are by the name of Al Amba and Satujaya. They were involved in the Club Med Hotel and Landa Jiravaru Resort at Bar Atoll, respectively. To my surprise, during my visit here today, the last 3 days, Malaysia's presence is not only limited to construction. In the health sector, during our visit to Hulu Mali today, we saw in the health sector, we saw Sime Darby Ramsay Hospital. In the restaurant sector, we saw Manhattan Fish Market, and I was informed Mary Brown's is around. Even this hotel that we are in is owned by the Shangri-La Group. I think the founder is a Malaysian, still a Malaysian, even though he resides in Hong Kong. He's still holding a Malaysian passport. So I hope that more Malaysian presence can be given the opportunity to explore and invest in the Maldives. For MASI members, there are far-reaching benefits that the association and its members can derive from being attached to the 19 countries that IFOCA operates in. Emerging countries can fast-track lessons to be learned on policies and project implementation hazards that developed countries such as Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Taiwan, and Hong Kong went through. We can learn how South Korea's economy and construction grew so fast over such a short time. We can share different and similar problems faced by our industry. All over the industry, number one would be problems in manpower, machineries, materials, and most importantly, how do we resolve the problem of not getting paid for work done? The big M, money. Some countries, through their associations liaison with their government, has formed regulations to resolve the issues faced by contractors. Some are underway, some yet to begun, but at least through IFOPCA, we have a stage to inquire, to learn, to network, and to improvise. IFOCA can also be used as a platform to form businesses and technological alliance. At the end of the day, how much you can benefit from being IFOCA is how you can make of it in the various seminars, business networking sessions, project visits, and standing committees that the convention has to offer. This evening is not an evening for long speeches. I might have exceeded a bit, but bear with me. But allow me to say briefly that we are looking forward to hosting a very grand 44th IFOPCA convention in Kuala Lumpur after 20 long years. We'll be hosting it for the third time. The first time we hosted it was back in 1983. The last time we hosted it, 1998. It is our hope to make it one of the best ever. After all, there's no wrong in having high aspirations. Mr. Ali Jannah, IFOCA first Vice President, had committed a record-breaking 20 delegates to Kuala Lumpur this year. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate MASI, as you will be hosting the 45th IFOCA convention in Maldives, and I'm sure you will be able to host a very successful event then. Send me the numbers, and I'm sure, and I can assure you, we will reciprocate twice the amount or more. I hope to see many of the friendly faces here in Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia is a beautiful country, as you can see from the video just now. I'm confident that you will have a most pleasant stay. As what has been mentioned by Chuan in his speech, we look forward to hosting you, so book your tickets and prepare for a wonderful trip. In conclusion, on behalf of IFOCA, once again, I thank you for hosting myself and Mr. Chuan and our Malaysian delegation here today. I look forward to meeting your members and understand how we can work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Matthew T. It is truly a privilege to have you here with us tonight. And I'm glad that you enjoyed your first trip to Maldives, and it's not the first time, last trip. Moving right along, it is now my pleasure to call upon Mr. Muhammad Ali Jannah, first Vice President of IFOPCA, onto the stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Honorable Chief Guest, Minister of Home Affairs, Mr. Azleen Ahmad, the 44th President of IFOPCA, Dr. Matthew T., my friend, the Secretary General of IFOPCA, Engineer Chuan Yong, my dearest colleagues from the MASI Executive Board, my colleagues from the Build and Construction Industry Board, members of MASI, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It was, as my friend and the current IFOPCA President mentioned just now, myself and Mr. Abdullah Muhammad went to Brisbane and then onwards to Gold Coast 11 years ago in 2007. So we had to go through a membership process where we were called into a committee, which was called the Membership Committee. And we were asked, why would such a small country be part of such a huge, it's the entire Asia Pacific region. So why did we want to become part of that membership? We passed the test, very easily. So we explained that we also want to be an equal, voting rights member of this organization. On the same day, we also signed an MOU with the Master Builders Association of Malaysia. So that was 11 years ago. Our association started, the association between our two countries started in that format since then. That was the 36th convention. IFOPCA, as you know, as a federation, is one of the oldest of its kind and a very dynamic international organization which rose to where it is today with the vision born in a region devastated by the ruins and conflict of World War II. The pioneers in 1956, as the President said, started with 8 founding members, and we have 19 countries of the ASEAN region and other associate members forming our organization. About our country and our industry, Maldives has grown exceptionally famous for its beauty, hospitality, and tourism. Whenever we go on vacation or holiday in any part of the world, our friends ask, why do you come here? You have the best. You have the best of the best in the world, Maldives. As you know, as you just saw today, Maldives is going through a transformational change. Our current government, the government of His Excellency President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Gayoom, is carrying out one of the biggest and one of the highest infrastructure development projects that has ever taken place in the history of the country, which includes major airport construction projects, connectivity bridges, new harbor developments, ports, and commercial projects, housing, resort development, you name it, we are doing it right now. The construction industry is the second largest industry in this country after tourism. Tourism, of course, is the main industry, but construction industry is the frontline industry in any country. So when tourism is good and the economy is good, we are good. When the economy is hit, when the tourism industry is hit, we are hit. We are the first to be hit. But we've been doing well, except a period of real difficulty from 2008 to 2012, when the international commodity prices increased, when steel went from $600 to $1,400 a ton, as we all know. So that was a difficult period. But we have been showing year-on-year growth. Last year we made a 24% a jump, and we contributed, just like Malaysia, about 8.3% towards the gross domestic growth of the country. My friend, our current president, is a contractor like us, is a developer like us. I would like to introduce him as one of his key projects that we all go through very frequently. KLIA2 was built by his company. So I would like to congratulate, for the beautiful work you have done in Malaysia and what you have, shown us what a capable person you are. His company's turnover is over Malaysian ringgit 1 billion, which is about $300 million. So he's a very successful entrepreneur, and we are very proud to have Mr. Matthew Tu as our current president of IFOPCA. Thank you very much. Congratulations. As we have almost 20 countries in the 19 countries in the IFOPCA, we have an annual, we have a convention every 20 months. And in between these 20 months, we're supposed to have a board meeting, a midterm board meeting. So the second year after we became a member, we did host a big event here, IFOPCA's midterm board meeting in 2010, where we had about 200 members. That was the biggest midterm board meeting that we had. So the presidency turns around in alphabetical order. So since we have 19 members, we get the chance to host a convention and to become the president every 25 years. So after Matthew T, I have been nominated to become the next president of IFOPCA. So this is an opportunity that any president would have every 25 years, unlike many other presidencies, you know. So I look forward taking over from you in November this year, and I would be holding that post for 20 months. I'm not sure how I could match the vision and the capabilities of the current president. He has traveled across all the 19 countries in the past year. He told me that he has 4 more countries to visit before the convention in November. So I will try to do my bit after I take over and travel across these countries with my Masi colleagues, if possible. Inshallah, you know, we will try that. We have a lot to learn from these various members. It's very interesting, you know, what Japan has shown us, what Korea has shown us, what Hong Kong has shown us. So Masi has benefited a lot throughout these 11 years, which is why we try to negotiate with the government, with the stakeholders. We try to bring in their experience. Most of us are going through the same things, you know, every day. As contractors, this part of the world, we are short of skills, we are short of labor, we are short of capital, and we are also, you know, as the president said, you know, the most important factor, we have this, you know, gap where we always need that money to bridge, you know, when we are not paid by the clients. So this is a major issue, and I hope as the president of IFOPCA, as the president of IFOPCA, I would be able to convince the regulators, the World Bank, IMF, you know, which is, IFOPCA is also associated to these world organizations, including the Asian Development Bank, which our president has already visited. So I would try to make a difference to make sure that, you know, the FDIC contract, of course, which we go through every day. So I would like to make it more favorable towards the contractors, you know, during my tenure. That would be some hard work that I would be trying to do. Of course, from the advice of the current president and all the ex-presidents of our organization. We have very respectful people, and most of the former presidents of IFOPCA are leading figures in their respective countries. So we have a lot to learn from them and their experience. Maldives will be hosting the convention, inshallah, in July 2020. July 2020. When we say that July 2020, we think that it's a long way away. But for the scope and the kind of convention, it's a very short period of time. We're expecting to have about 1,000 plus delegates, because Sri Lanka and India are just across the border. So we hope to have, and Maldives is, you know, the darling of many people around the world. So I'm sure they would be coming with their families across to our country. I would like to conclude my remarks by thanking our president of Masi for giving me the opportunity to address this night. And once again, I applaud Dr. Matthew T. for your dedication and contribution to IFOPCA, and for the continuous advice that you give us, and also for the development of the construction industry in this region and the world. Truly, I'm grateful to you. And I look forward to joining you in Malaysia this November. Finally, I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Guest for taking time out. It's a wonderful, you know, night, and it's great to have you. And I would like to listen to your speech tonight. And one more thing before I go away, we also have, before the Malaysian convention, we also have planned ourselves for the 2020 convention. So we have formed a Maldives IFOPCA Organizing Committee, 2020 Maldives IFOPCA Organizing Committee, and we have appointed 2 chair, and it's led by my colleague and our friend Abdullah Saleh. He will be leading the organizing committee of the 2020 convention, and I'm very confident of his capability to carry out this, you know, mammoth task. I look forward, to working with him. I also have a very dynamic and smart colleague who has never failed to support me. Our IFOPCA executive board member and our MASI's vice president. He's never failed to support us at any point of time. So we have a good team led by MASI's president, myself, Abdullah Saleh, and Ala Ali. We would be the key members leading this team. Ladies and gentlemen, I greatly appreciate your presence tonight and for coming and joining us in this very memorable function. Thank you very much.
Next, I humbly call upon the stage Mr. Abdullah Saleh, Executive Member of MASI and Co-Chair of IFOPCA 2020 Organizing Committee, to address this function. Mr. Abdullah Saleh.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Guest of honor, Minister of Home Affairs, Mr. Aslin Ahmed, the 44th President of IFOPCA, Dr. Metoti, IFOPCA Secretary General, Engineer Chuan, President of Maldives Association of Construction Industry, Abdullah Muhammad, Chairman of Maldives Building and Construction Board, Mr. Madali Chana, Executive Board members of MASI, Board member of MBCB, dearest colleagues from the construction industry and distinguished invitees. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to you all. It is a privilege to be here in this company of renowned names in the construction and building industry of this region, and it is an honor to be able to say a few words this evening. First of all, I would like to thank President of IFOPCA, Dato Metoti, and Secretary General of IFOPCA, Engineer Chuan, for accepting MASI's invitation to visit the Maldives. IFOPCA is an important platform for the building and construction industry of Maldives, and this visit has formed an important link to enhance our industry knowledge by sharing your experiences. At the same time, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the former President of MASI and the Chairman of Maldives Building and Construction Board, Mr. Madali Chana, for his role in making Maldives a member of this esteemed organization. I think without him, we wouldn't have been here. So thank you once again. And thank you for the kind words. I hope I'll be able to do justice. We are also extremely pleased to collaborate with the Master Builders Association of Malaysia at a time when we are gearing up to host the 45th IFOPCA Convention in the Maldives in 2020. Under your leadership, I have no doubt that this year's convention will be held in Malaysia in November will be successful. And we have to learn a lot from you. We will also try to participate with a stronger delegation. And we are also trying to get maximum knowledge from your experience so that we'll be able to execute IFOPCA's Maldives Convention to be held in 2020 a success. We are already in discussion with Master Builders Association of Malaysia and plan to formulate a partnership with them to further strengthen our relationship with MASI to extend its full support and convention for this year, and we look forward to a fruitful exchange of ideas as a result of this partnership. This cooperation will not only be beneficial to our organizing committee, but more importantly, it is very valuable to our local contractors and the industry members in overcoming the challenges we face. To this end, I would like to thank President of IFOPCA once again for his positive initiative. We look forward to continued support from the government to MASI and our local industry experts and our sponsors for the upcoming conference in Maldives 2020. 1,000 delegates is quite a number, and I think this is going to be one of the largest conferences ever held in the Maldives. So without industry experts, without sponsors, we will not be able to have this conference in the Maldives. And also with the support of the government. We are getting support from the government, especially Ministry of Construction and Infrastructure. And I have been told by our ex-president, Jana, that he will be equally helping us to make this positive successful. Together we can move forward, I think, to achieve our vision. Thank you once again for this opportunity. Thank you.
Next, we have the address by our guest of honor, Honorable Azleen Ahmed, Minister of Home Affairs. I humbly call on stage Honorable Minister Azleen Ahmed.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammadin khatim al-anbiya wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Datuk Matthew T. Kai Wong, President of IFOFCA, Chong Yong Ming, Secretary General of IFOFCA, President of Maldives Association of Construction Industry, Mr. Abdullah Muhammad, Vice Presidents of MASI, former President of MASI, an Executive Board member of MASI, and the Vice President, most prominently, the next President of IFOPCA, Mr. Ali Jannah, Muhammad Ali Jannah, and Mr. Abdullah Saleh, the co-chair of the organizing committee for 2020 convention of IFOPCA, and Mr. Alaw, the honorable member of the nominated member of IFOPCA from Maldives, the honorable members of MASI, and the honorable invitees, stakeholders of construction industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good evening to you all. Thank you for the invitation to join you this evening. I am especially glad to see our honorable guests from various countries in Asia and Western Pacific region. I assure you that my speech, after listening to my colleagues, certain things I believe are repeated. I was given a very limited time to come to this wonderful event this evening. However, I thought of touching important areas which Brother Ali Jannah has touched as the envisaged president of the next round of IFOFCA, representing our beautiful country, Maldives. I'll try my best not to make it long. I want to start by thanking and welcoming the 44th President of IFOPCA and the Secretary General. I congratulate the host of this dinner, MASI, for being selected to host IFOPCA convention in 2020 in the Maldives. I am honored for being informed that the next president of IFOPCA, Mr. Muhammad Ali Jannah, as the 45th president, and Abdullah Muhammad, the Secretary General. Also, a very special congratulations to Brother Alaw Ali, who is the board member of IFOPCA, for making our nation proud as for the first time holding the leadership of IFOPCA, which is a great international organization representing a very significant industry in the development of the world. This is indeed a very proud moment for the Maldives, that as the nominated president has rightly highlighted, a country like Maldives, a very small, one of the smallest countries in the world, of course, which is also one of the best destinations, as the incumbent president of IFOPCA has highlighted, as one of the most romantic destinations in the world, which carries some of the best brands of the hospitality industry in the Maldives. I have full confidence on the capability and capacity of the new leadership to go ahead with the IFOPCA, representing the 19 big countries. Distinguished guests from foreign countries, your presence here is highly appreciated, and it indicates the confidence you have for our beautiful country. I hope this annual event will be a useful platform to interact, network, and explore areas of collaboration, and will be beneficial to the development and growth of all countries present here and represented by IFOPCA. I must confess that I have little knowledge about IFOPCA. When I was first invited here, I found it very interesting to know about the history of IFOPCA. I went through the official website. That is, history replicates the story of regional construction industry after World War II, as Brother Ali Jannah has highlighted. A story which began with a vision born in the region devastated by conflicts, and whose people neither lost their faith to rebuild their lands nor their courage to face the odds that loomed in the horizon. It is impressive to know how dynamic IFOPCA is, as it plays a critical role in promoting international construction and engineering industry, in developing beneficial relationship between governments and contractors in the region, and in establishing cooperative working arrangements in furtherance of civil and building construction projects. I thank the incumbent president of IFOPCA and the Secretary General for having taken the initiative to visit Maldives and to share their experience with their counterparts in the Maldives. Thank you very much. It was reported in the Economy Watch that the contribution of construction industry towards the global GDP revolves around 1/10 of the total amount. World's construction industry is also a potential employment generator and provides work to almost 7% of the total employed persons in the whole globe. The extent of this industry has become so vast that the energy in the form of electricity, fuel consumed by it, hovers around 2/5 of the total energy consumed all over the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a proud moment again. The nominated president and his colleagues, representing a long-standing work done for the construction industry in the Maldives, are truly leaders of the construction industry in the Maldives, and they have truly proven their success history in the Maldives. I am sure this is the time where we should applaud for having contributed to uplift the industrial strengths despite a lot of challenges in the history. Thank you very much. I would like to applaud them. This is indeed worthy remarkable. The growth opportunities in the global construction industry report stated that the global construction industry is expected to reach an estimated $10.5 trillion by 2023. And it is forecast to grow at a compound aggregate growth rate of 4.2% from 2018 to 2023. So this is an industry that is never negligible in the development of the world. Despite the slowdown in the global economy during the past few years, we are striving hard to embark into the mega infrastructural projects and implement these projects in full gear. Expansion of the National Hospital IGMH on the name of Darumont Hospital by the initiative and leadership of His Excellency the President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum. And may the other projects like China-Maldives Friendship Bridge, these and the construction of new airport reflect the commitment of the government to transform the lives of people via infrastructural development. Construction industry is the third largest industry in the Maldivian economy. I thank Maldivian Association for Construction Industry, the Maldives Association for Construction Industry, which was formed on the 30th of October 2001. Is a very short history for the developments that have taken place in the country under their leadership, for their effort in securing and sustaining the interests of all stakeholders of the Maldivian construction industry by creating a platform for securing well-being for this vital industry. According to the Quarterly Economic Bulletin, December 2017, published by MMA, our central bank, commercial bank credit to the construction sector rose by 22% in annual terms during the fourth quarter of 2017, largely owing to increases in the loans for residential housing, construction of guest houses and new resort development, certainly in addition to many such projects.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة.
I must confess that I have little knowledge about IFOFCA. When I was first invited here, I found it very interesting to know about the history of IFOFCA. I went through the official website. That is, history replicates the story of regional construction industry after World War II, as Brother Ali Jannah has highlighted. A story which began with a vision born in the region devastated by conflicts, and whose people neither lost their faith to rebuild their lands nor their courage to face the odds that loomed in the horizon. It is impressive to know how dynamic IFOFCA is, as it plays a critical role in promoting international construction and engineering industry. In developing beneficial relationship between governments and contractors in the region, and in establishing cooperative working arrangements in furtherance of civil and building construction projects. I thank the incumbent president of IFOFCA and the Secretary General for having taken the initiative to visit Maldives and to share their experience with their counterparts in the Maldives. Thank you very much. It was reported in the Economy Watch that the contribution of construction industry towards the global GDP revolves around 1/10 of the total amount. World's construction industry is also a potential employment generator and provides work to almost 7% of the total employed persons in the whole globe. The extent of this industry has become so vast that the energy in the form of electricity, fuel consumed by it hovers around 2/5 of the total energy consumed all over the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a proud moment again. The nominated president and his colleagues, representing a long-standing work done for the construction industry in the Maldives, are truly leaders of the construction industry in the Maldives, and they have truly proven their success history in the Maldives. I am sure this is the time where we should applaud for having contributed to uplift the industrial strength despite a lot of challenges in the history. Thank you very much. I would like to applaud them. This is indeed worthy remarkable. The growth opportunities in the global construction industry report stated that the global construction industry is expected to reach an estimated $10.5 trillion by 2023. And it is forecast to grow at a compound aggregate growth rate of 4.2% from 2018 to 2023. So this is an industry that is never negligible in the development of the world. Despite the slowdown in the global economy during the past few years, we are striving hard to embark into the mega infrastructural projects and implement these projects in full gear. Expansion of the National Hospital IGMH on the name of Darmont Hospital by the initiative and leadership of His Excellency the President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum. And may the other projects like China Maldives Friendship Bridge, these and the construction of new airport reflect the commitment of the government to transform the lives of people via infrastructural development. Construction industry is the third largest industry in the Maldivian economy. I thank Maldivian Association for Construction Industry, the Maldives Association for Construction Industry, which was formed on the 30th of October 2001. Is a very short history for the developments that have taken place in the country under their leadership. For their effort in securing and sustaining the interests of all stakeholders of the Maldivian construction industry by creating a platform for securing well-being for this vital industry. According to the Quarterly Economic Bulletin, December 2017, published by MMA, our central bank, commercial bank credit to the construction sector rose by 22% in annual terms during the fourth quarter of 2017, largely owing to increases in the loans for residential housing, construction of guest houses and new resort development, certainly in addition to many such projects in other sectors. It is stated that the strong performance of the sector is mainly attributed to the ongoing infrastructure project. These statistics reflect the speed at which the government is bringing the economic transformation to this very small country via infrastructural development, making a lot of landmarks in the country. The countries represented in IFOFCA have unique features, strengths, weaknesses, which might not be common to all countries. However, via collaboration opportunities, such opportunities could be created to information, expertise and technology exchange that make it possible to learn from one another. And I strongly believe the envisaged convention to be held this year, towards the end of this year, under the leadership of the President, the incumbent President of IFOPCA, I'm sure, is going to contribute significant exchange of knowledge and expertise among the stakeholders in all 19 countries. I wish you the best of luck for this convention. And of course, for the 2020 convention in the Maldives as well, under the leadership of very able President, Mr. Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Thank you so much. The countries represented in IFOCA have shown their commitment and dedication for the development of industry in their respective countries. As the next president has just now highlighted, highly developed countries among the 19 countries have proven their sincere contribution for the well-being of this huge industry that contributes for the largest growth in the Maldivian industries. Undoubtedly, we've been depending on the tourism sector, definitely. However, I strongly believe the lifeblood of tourism sector is very much the construction industry in the Maldives. So it is inseparable from the tourism sector, as per the pledge of the government, every year a number of new resorts are being built, and the building is facilitated by the construction industry. Undoubtedly, this is the second largest industry in the Maldives. And I strongly believe in the years to come, it is going to be the largest. Because we see with a lot of reclamation, new harbors and new ports and many other such mega projects being undertaken by the tourism sector as well as by the construction industry, it has become a concrete jungle here. And definitely it is, the dependence is very much on the construction industry, and therefore it is important that we do protect construction industry and its stakeholders from time to time with the legal protection as well as with the possible contribution by all the sectors across the economy. The long history proves, the long history of IFOPCA and its commitment and success has been complementing each other in a manner that practically providing success across the borders, collaboration for united cause. It is understood that these countries' sincere efforts have led IFOPCA to be this successful in today's world. And it is obviously contributing to a significant level. The progress IFOPCA has made is reflected from the increase in its member countries from 8 to 19. I quote from its inception in Manila, Philippines in 1956, pioneered by only 8 countries, as I've just highlighted, to start with only 8 countries, namely Australia, China, and of course Taiwan, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Pakistan, Philippines, Singapore. These were the countries. IFOPCA today groups the fraternity of builders in 19 countries of ASEAN and its neighbors to South Asian capitals of New Delhi and Colombo. Unquote. This definitely shows the growth of the federation and its wide acceptability among the countries. In conclusion, I emphasize on the importance of this opportunity to commence new relationships that will create economic and social impact, the development that will lead to economic growth of our respective countries. In my opinion, it is important to form a common regulatory framework applicable to all countries uniformly, so that will create a common infrastructure solidity fund that will economically empower all countries, that will lead to succeed in this region. It is undoubtedly clear the interest that was expressed by the incumbent president and the kind of hopes that were given by the next president for this great organization is going to contribute to further success in the years to come. I wish you all the best in promoting this industry in the years to come, and wish you success under both the incumbent president as well as the next president, and wishing this industry success in the years to come. Thank you very much. I wish you a very pleasant evening. Once again, thank you.
To conclude, I am pleased to invite Mr. Alao Ali, Vice President of MASI and Executive Board Member of IFOPCA, to deliver the word of thanks to all of our guests on behalf of MASI. Mr. Alao Ali.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Lots of familiar faces. So my job here, after those fine speeches, is probably one of the easiest, probably the best. At the same time, probably the toughest. I don't want to miss anyone's name. At first, I just thought to say thank you all, good night. And that means I would have covered everyone, right? I'll try to keep it very brief. I think dinner and entertainment awaits us. Excellency Home Minister Azleen Ahmed, it's an honor to have you here with us tonight. Thank you for taking the time to grace us on this occasion, despite your very busy schedule. I also thank you for the kind and encouraging words. We'll probably hold you to that you'll protect the industry and encourage us. No, it's truly encouraging when the government is very positive towards the industry. The private sector is working extremely hard to deliver the government targets. We're always working with the government in the direction that is going, and we see lots of mega projects, and I think it's that partnership that will show us finally reaching the objectives that is envisioned. President of IFOPCA, my friend, Dr. Matthew. I will not say the rest of the name. It's great to finally have you here. And thank you for the very fine speech you gave us. Very eloquently put. I think it was a wonderful advertisement for all those who might be new to the oncoming Malaysian Convention. But one thing is for sure, we know that you will be back to Maldives again, but this time with a special partner, right? In all seriousness, your leadership in IFOPCA is helping it transform into the new generation. I've witnessed it over the many years that we've been lucky to be part of it. And I think this transformation is greatly encouraging the younger generation to come into IFOPCA and take up leadership positions, you being among one of the youngest. And I think it's always nice to see the direction it is going with the new applications coming in and the way the conventions are changing. So I'd like to congratulate you and thank you very much for being so inspirational. So, IFOPCA Secretary General, Engineer Chuan, great to have you here too. Thank you for the wonderful speech. I think there's a lot of weight on your shoulders right now to get the convention done. But from the video we just saw, we're very confident it'll be, a very good convention. And we look very much forward to seeing you in KL. We hope to bring the numbers that our president or incoming president has, promised. So let's see how it goes. I certainly hope to be there. I'll do my part. Senior member of MBA, Brother Aziz. It's an honor to have you here once again. I do recall you coming here some time ago. Despite the fact that I could not show you any mermaids on that visit. I do believe maybe you might have seen some turtles or some other exciting things. And, good enough that it brings you back here again. And it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for coming. Masi President and, of course, incoming Pro Secretary General Abdullah Mohammed. Thank you for the encouraging words. We see what what is at stake here. So we have every confidence that the convention will be great under your coordination. I must say your patience in stressful matters is a gift to all of us. We never see you stressing. It's always smiling. So, we have a lovely president right now. Colleagues on on Masi board, it's good to have you guys here. Especially, of course, Muhammad Ali Jannah, first VP of IFOPCA, and taking the lead in coordinating this particular event also. Thank you for the kind words towards me personally. The feeling is, of course, mutual. Your personal efforts and energy spent on Masi affairs is unmatched by anyone else, I can very confidently and frankly say. So from me personally, and from a professional aspect, I must really highlight you are one of a kind, and it's an honor to have you in the construction industry. And I have no doubt that the 2020 convention under your leadership will be a success. I believe we have a very fine example of MBM, the way it's going. It's very modern and it's different. And when we take over in 2 years, we hope to learn a lot from you, and we look forward to your support as we have been getting from each other. Not to forget also our sponsors, HRC, Amin, Damas, Elia. Thank you for your valuable support. We hope you will continue to do so, especially for the convention. And I'm hearing that significant sponsorship is required. And tonight I'm very happy to hear that the government will be sponsoring also. Matthew will be happy to tell you how much other governments have been helping out, and without that, it will be difficult. Like our colleague Abdul Salih has said, this is probably going to be the largest convention Maldives has ever had. And without doubt, we will need support from every aspect. This includes not only government, tourism, construction, and all the logistical support. You can imagine hosting 1,000 people in our seas, moving them We want to show you Maldives and the best of it. And by then, the new airport will be, inshallah, running fine. The bridge will be there. And phase 2 of Ulmale, would have reached new heights. Staff of Masi, thank you very much for trying to get everything together despite, how rushed everything always appears. I must take this opportunity especially to thank HRC, who behind the scenes, under the leadership of Susan and her fine team, has made this event possible. So thank you, HRC. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for being here with us tonight. That's it. Time for dinner and entertainment. Wassalam.
Thank you all for making time out of your busy schedules to join us here this evening. It has been my pleasure hosting this event, and I wish you all a pleasant evening. Thank you.